Foxglove friends, welcome to today's reading with me, Rosalind. This is Foxglove Coaching Spiritual Guidance, and today we're going to be looking at what is coming in for you and what is happening for you in 2025. So what a big year we've had so far. A lot of people either entering new really auspicious relationships, leaving relationships, leaving careers that they've had for years to start new jobs that are more meaningful, changing locations, buying houses. It's been a huge year for a lot of us, so it'd be so exciting to see what's going to happen in 2025. Now, if you do know which card you'd like, you can go straight to the timestamps, which are in the description. I'll put a little video on so you can have more time with the cards, so you can choose whether to pick pile 1, 2 or 3. And all that's there in the description. But for those of you who are interested, I just thought I'd share a bit more about how you can work with me if you want to. So I will be putting 2025, the year ahead specific card readings on my Buy Me a Coffee link. So you can go and you can buy one of those, and I'll make a video for you which is very specific to you individually to look at love, health, wealth, career, friends and family. Or you can actually book in to work with me one-to-one directly, which is also on the Buy Me a Coffee link, so that is in there already now. If you would like to change your life in a really big way to bring in more happiness, more loving connections, more peace, and to sprinkle a little bit of magic into your life, you can work with me directly as a love, life and intuitive coach, in which I use spiritual, holistic and psychological methods to change the patterns of your life, to clear away any unwanted emotions from the past so that they're not dictating how you live in this life now. And then we'll bring in different ways to help you be in more alignment with your soul purpose, with the truth of who you are, so that you can have the best life, because isn't that what we all want? So you can have that happiness, joy and love in your life, love of self, love of others, so many good things. So if you want to check that out, that is on my website, which is also in the description, and it's www.foxglovecoaching.com. And I wish you all a very happy festive season, and I hope to see you again soon. Please do like and subscribe if it resonates, to help me grow my channel so that I can help more people like you. Enjoy your readings, Foxglove friend. Take care. Hello, Foxglove friends. So here's the card choices for today. You have got pile 1, Deep Freeze with the rune Perthrow. You have got pile 2, Field of Dreams with the rune Thurisas. And you have got pile 3, Heal the Ouch with the rune of Hagalaz. Now I'll just give you a few seconds there so you can have a look and decide which one you want. And the timestamps are in the description, so they'll take you straight to your reading. Enjoy your reading, Foxglove friend. Hello, pile 1. Welcome to today's reading of what's going to happen in 2025. So we're going to look at how you're coming into the year and how the year finishes up, and we'll have a little look at what's going on in the middle. So the first card for the overriding message about what you've got going on for 2025 is Deep Freeze. Look at that. So that lovely lion there is having a rest. And quite often as the winter comes in, a wintry season comes into our lives, it can be to do with taking time out to self-reflect, to rest, to rejuvenate, for things to be calm, for things to be insulated and protected, like the ice and the snow insulates and protects things. Um, so you may spend time working on more spiritual pursuits or elements of self-discovery. This may well be the year for you that's all about self-care and learning more about yourself to progress at a soul level so that you can be happier. It's often can also be to do with putting things on ice. So if you've got arguments or issues going on, put those on hold. You know, this is a time for you to retreat a little bit in certain ways so that you can take care of you. Now you've got this with the rune Perthro or Pertho, and this is the most mysterious rune of the pack. So it's all to do with the mysteries of self, it can be, and understanding deeper elements of yourself, having revelations about things in your life, about who you are. So there's an awful lot of focusing on self, doing deep work, resting, having peace during this year. So that's really, really nice. Very auspicious. A very auspicious year for you, pile one. I'm going to leave that there in the middle, and then we're going to get some cards about how are you coming into 2025. So Spirit, how is pile one coming into 2025? I feel like there might be an element where either you don't feel like you've got enough time, or there's lots of rushing around, or you've been trying to cater to lots of other people during this year of 2024. So you're coming into 2025 with some real positive, passionate energy. Things are starting off with the year really, really well for you. The sun is a lovely, lovely card to have. Let me get some more out so we can have a look at a bit of the story of what's coming in for you, pile one, as you start off 2025. Now, I like these. These are two very nice cards to be starting off with, pile one. Ace of Cups. Oh my goodness, this is awesome too. So you may be really happy because you've got either positive relationships, you've found a new love of life, or you've entered into a new relationship, whether that's romantic or a strong friendship in which there's a lot of love within that relationship, and it's helping you. You know, it's brought hope into your world. See the little bird at the top there? It's like the bird from Noah's Ark. So the way that Noah knew that there was hope for a better future and that they weren't just going to be alone forevermore was because the dove brought the olive branch to show that there was life somewhere on solid ground. So that, you know, and water often represents our emotions. So you could consider that you may have been, in fact, there's been an awful lot of waves going on here. So you may have had a period of time where you went through lots of difficult emotions, felt adrift, maybe felt isolated, and now we're starting off the year where you've either just engaged in positive, maybe you have just got engaged also, but for the take what resonates and leave behind what doesn't. It's just interesting, I just use that word. But you know, you may have come together with people who have met you at a heart space, you know, have met you at a heart level, whether it's friendships or romantic relationships, and that's really positive. You know, you've come into this year in a very positive state. Let's have a look what else is happening for you as we come into 2025. Wow, you've got some great cards going on here, pile one. I am excited for you. Nine of Pentacles. My goodness me. So the Nine of Pentacles shows abundance, stability. Well, written around the edges here. We've got comfort, accomplishment, prosperity, stability. We've got that dove of the dove of hope has landed on solid ground. You know, positive things have come into fruition in a really steady, stabilized way. So this is financially, this is positive. So, I mean, goodness me, this is absolutely wonderful. I hope that this is for me also. Not that I don't already have these things ready, but still, it's a great reading, pile one. So you've got absolute joy and happiness. You've got fire and passion about life again. Maybe lots of ideas that you haven't had. I'm sorry if you just heard that music. I don't think you did, but I tapped my earphone by accident. It brought music on. Yeah, so you've got new love in your life, you've got financial abundance, got all these really great things, and perhaps it's because you've got this positivity in your life that you've kind of reached a point where, or or you will reach a point as 2025, begins, at the first part of this year, that it will give you time to reflect. It will give you time to rest because you've achieved a lot of what you want to achieve, pile one. It's going to give you it's allowing you to go, right, everything that I've kind of wanted, the positive connections, positive loving connections, joy and happiness in my heart, stability when it comes to material elements somehow. So that might be a stable home life, it might be increased income, all these things that you kind of got it on all levels. And then we've got this spiritual aspect, with the rune here coming in more. So for some of you, this is showing that you're able to go on more of a spiritual journey during 2025, that you have. So if you know Maslow's hierarchy of needs, it shows that to really progress at a deeper soul level, we need to have our basic foundational requirements met. So we need to have security, we need to have a home, we need to have food. It goes up in levels where we need to have love and affection in our lives. We need to have these things that the more that we get that sustain what we need in the physical world and emotionally, the more we can actually achieve really great things in our lives. And during this year for you in 2025, it's showing that you are going to go on a deep spiritual journey where you're in a position, a stable position, where your subconscious and unconscious mind will be able to present things to you, for you to clear. You'll be able to rest, you'll be able to enjoy what's going on for you. And that will also enable you to start to work on more spiritual development. Now, obviously, you can work with me to develop spiritually if you want to. I do one-to-one sessions to teach people mediumship, how to work with their psychic intuition abilities more, how to develop that, and how to do a lot of self-learning at a soul level, because that's what we're here for, Foxglove friends, to learn more at a soul level. So now we've got that beautiful information about what's coming in for you during the start of 2025. I want to have a look at what's going on in the middle of 2025. Oops, and they're jumping out. I've got two that have jumped out. Stuck in the mud and compass. Interesting. So we have got the compass is very much about sticking to your true north. Now, it's interesting because both of these both deep freeze and stuck in the mud show that there's a standstill with certain things. So there may be an element where, now I don't know if I said this at the start, but one of the things that came to me with this card is that this may be helping you to defrost Pearl 1. So if you have had a closed off heart, if you've had an avoidant attachment style in which you kind of don't allow people in too much, all of this positive, lovely stuff is going to help you to unfreeze your heart, to stop being as cold, if you like, so that you can allow the warmth, so that you can allow the sun to defrost any edges that you may have had where you've not allowed yourself to feel, where you've been numb. You might have a little bit of where you're nervous to let that go. Pile 1. You might be a little bit stubborn in connecting with the deeper elements of who you are. You might be a little bit stubborn with allowing the ice to thaw within you because of certain fears about going in the wrong direction. So that could be what's happening in the middle of the year. When you come into these things at the start of the year, it's all exciting, it's wonderful, everything's really, really good. Sometimes our psyche goes, hold on a minute, is this all okay? And that's kind of what this is. So that might be coming in the middle of the year where it's just asking you to, your psyche wants you to hold fire. I want to get some advice for you around this to help break you out of. Interesting, the sun again will help, like mud. Oh, interesting. Actually, when you warm kind of clay and stuff up, it goes more, what's the word? More flexible, and it's more malleable, which I think might be needed here a little bit, so you don't actually... Oh, we've got a real... I'm sorry, I'm just pondering on this, because the sun card is very much about the heart. See there how the heart is being highlighted. And what I want to say is, with this one, lotus flowers grow out of the mud. So you may find that with the deep freeze and the self-reflection, that things come up from the depths. A lotus flower grow out of the mud, which represents that they grow out of things that have been difficult, out of difficult times. You may well be stuck in those old difficult times, even though they don't exist anymore. And this is part of what the deep freeze is about. It's about allowing yourself to let go of what no longer serves you, to let go of patterns from the past and concepts from the past that don't exist now, because you're in a good place. Pile 1. And I think navigating through which directions to take is going to be kind of the challenge for you during this year, because it's about allowing your heart to thaw, to be open for all the goodness that is there, readily waiting for you, that you have. This is advice. I create mindful moments throughout the day, reminding myself that I am love and miracles are natural. So it's important to keep bringing yourself back to that understanding that you deserve love. Love is here for you. Ace of Cups, it's here for you. Pile 1. So create mindful moments. Just be mindful of what is cropping up in your mind during 2025, and make a dedication maybe each day that I choose love and peace, and I choose actions of love and peace. Right, let's have a look at... I want to have a look at what's the outcomes of 2025 are for you, please? Spirit, can we have a look at what the outcomes are for 2025 for pile 1, please? The Devil, okay, interesting. Desire, obsession, fear, shadow side. So that makes sense with the deep freeze as well. There's going to be things coming up for you, triggering things from the past. It's amazing, isn't it? Sometimes when we get everything that we want and things are really good, that's the point where our psyche goes, "Ooh, are we worthwhile? Are we enough to receive this? Are we enough to have this?" You may get nervous about losing what you've got, because that's another element. If there's and all of this is what's based around the deep freeze. So it's important to acknowledge what is coming up for you, acknowledge any fears that are coming up for you, acknowledge any attachment issues that are coming up for you, pile 1. Because when you get lots of good stuff, sometimes you become afraid that it's going to go away, and you can, end up being a bit overly controlling. Emotions can come to the surface that you don't necessarily want to feel or show. And just let's get some advice for you around that as well. Spirit, can we have some advice for pile 1, please, about any fears, jealousies, attachment issues that might be coming to the surface? You can work with me to clear those, pile 1. You can always go onto my website, and there's a Let's Talk page, and there's an option that says I don't know what I want. Well, I do therapies and things as well, so you just pick I don't know what I want and write down what's going on, and we can work together to resolve these things. What advice have we got? Okay, the presence of love will always cast out fear. Oh, and you've got a sneaky hidden one behind that as well. I am the loving energy of the universe. So it's important for you to remember, fear is just a perception, pile 1. It's a perception due to experiences you've had from the past. You do not need to live with those emotions. They don't need to rule your life. There are so many things that can be done therapeutically. There's just so many things that you don't have to sit in this energy of fear. You can actually clear that out. But there's something that you can do also, where say out loud, I am afraid this will happen. When you're on your own, you don't have to say it to anybody. Go through it like you're emptying the dustbin of what's going on, and just say all your fears out loud by saying, I am afraid this might happen. I am afraid that I feel like this. Get it all out. Then put your left hand on your heart space. I'm going to put it on that person's heart space there. Put your left hand on your heart space and tune in by paying attention to your heart. Tune into your heart space. Breathe in to that area in your heart. Cast your attention down to that area where your heart is. In that general area. You don't need to know specifically where your heart is, because I've had this conversation with people before and they go, I don't quite know which side it's on or where it is. In that general area in the middle, pile 1. And then you tune into that, and then you go, my heart tells me, and you say what your heart tells you. And you keep repeating that so that you remember. Just keep doing that and recalibrating yourself back to the fact that you are love and you are light. And you can keep saying that to yourself as well, pile 1. I am love. I am light. I am love. I am light. What else is coming up for pile 1, please? Further on towards the end of 2025. What a transformational year we've got coming up for you, pile 1. Really, really transformational. Very interesting. This is going to lead you to such happiness. Knight of Wands. Things are going to happen much faster. You're going to get into flow with yourself. Look, that's intuition coming up there. So things are going to really speed up towards the end of the year. There's going to be a lot going on where you've had more of a calmer start to this year, to be reflective, because you're going to have gone through a lot of these learning lessons over the year. That's then going to things are going to start happening much faster for you. It's going to really speed up. Oops, that's stuck on a little branchy bit. It's really going to speed up as you get further on. Let's see what is that speed all about. Well, you're going to have lots of ideas is what it's about, pile one. All sorts of ideas to do with love and romance, but maybe new projects. You know, if the engagement bit at the start was correct, maybe you're planning a wedding. You know, all sorts of different things going on as the year ahead comes up. Let's see if there's anything else we want to add for what's happening towards the end of 2025, please. Knight of Swords, interesting. So that's tension, highs and lows, some conflict. The Knight of Swords tends to be, you might be charging ahead because you've got so much clarity. There might be an element where you're kind of going, I'm so decisive about what I want, and I want to cut the cords with anything that, you know, that I don't want anymore. So you might be charging ahead with rather a lot of gusto. It's interesting that we've got two of the Knights cards coming up there for you. So that might also be more characters coming into your world. You know, characters, whether they're male or they've got quite youthful male energy. It can shake things up. So this card can really shake things up and unearth tensions that were buried and long forgotten. So this again is like bringing up stuff, and also this revelation rune, you know, about things being revealed that you didn't know before. But it can be bringing things up within you that need to be resolved as well. So let me get some more. Advice for you about that. My faith has the power to turn trauma into healing, conflict into growth, and fear into love. Look at that. And that beautiful tree growing in the centre there, and its roots being. So I feel like this year is really going to allow you to anchor into a new way of being, pile one. It's going to allow you to anchor in to clearing a lot of trauma from the past, which is so freeing. It allows you to live in so much more peace and joy, and to find happiness. If you've been numb, if you've had any experiences of feeling numb, this year is going to clear that out, because you've got this positive stability within your life now that's going to allow you to do that. Let me look at Spirit. Can you tell us I want to know what something that's really great about 2025, please. I want to know what the positives are and what the challenges are. So let's have the positives first. What is really immerse? Oh, that's a very beautiful card, and it's the Cancer Crab look. Let's put that there. And then what is the main challenges? Change. Okay, so that's understandable. So we've got the Uranus card there, and interestingly, this is the one I had, where I've gone from something that's a little bit more subdued to big changes, you know, and all this colour is coming into into your world. Now, I think for you that a lot of this is change on the inside. Um, you know, limiting beliefs are going to be released. Any emotional issues are going to be cleared. But sometimes change can be quite scary, especially if you've got any kind of control scenarios going on for you, or if you've been trying to keep things the same. Change can be distressing. I'm going to have a little look in the book at what this one is because I'm not quite sure about it. So we have got the positives. Okay, well, this ties into what I've been saying the whole time through. The crab is all about doing a deep dive into the sea of emotion and coming back home again. The crab always carries its protective shell. It says, be the emotional leader and connect with the parent archetype. Okay, see, I think you'll be doing some inner child work here potentially. If you're in need of parenting yourself, reach out to the Divine Mother and Father, to the earth beneath and the sky above, and feel held. Once you feel fed by spirit, it becomes easier to accept the ordinary human limitations of the people around you. Nourish the connections with your chosen family and tribe. Very, very, very interesting. Be aware of the psychic pool in which you float. If you feel tossed by the waves or battered by the anxiety of those around you, dive down deeper and find the calm below. Float in the ocean of collective consciousness and feel cradled, nurtured by the Divine Mother, fed and cuddled. Okay, so there could be a lot of... Well, it's tying into the fact that this is a very transformational year for you, Pile 1. Very transformational in the sense that you're going to actually really clear out a lot that is important for you. Let me get one more advice card, and then the last thing I want to do is get a little section out of the Rumi book, is what I decided to do. So one more advice card for you. Oh, look how beautiful is that with the two giraffes there. Come together, allow yourself to rest and lean on loving connections. Be open, communicate, share what you think. And because the giraffe has got such a long neck, this is very much also about rising above problems and seeing things from a higher perspective so that you can endure. And the 8 can often, well, it's the infinity symbol about unconditional love for the self and for others, but also it can be the two people meeting in the middle. If you turn it on its side, you've got a one round body and another round body, and they meet together. So they aren't the same, but they meet in the middle in a positive way. So it's very important. The whole reading is saying, keep love in your heart. Now, lastly, I'm going to do a quick reading. And one thing that's great to do is you kind of go to a book. I want a reading that's specific for Pile 1, please. And you can do this at home, Foxglove friend. And we're gonna... Once you express your sorrow from the bottom of your heart, it will be washed away. Look at a flower. It can never hide its scent nor its colour. So you can't hide the true essence. And that's sort of going there. is my plan. But there we go. So once you express your sorrow from the bottom of your heart, it will be washed away. You can't hide the true element of who you are, Pile 1. And this year is very much about allowing yourself to be everything that you are and to clear up and out anything that no longer serves you. What a fantastic year you've got coming up. I wish you so much love and luck and wish you well. If you liked this and it resonated, please do click on the like and subscribe button to help grow my channel. And I hope to see you again soon. Take care and goodbye, pal one. Hello, pal two. Welcome to today's reading. So, you have picked the Field of Dreams for what is coming up for you in 2025. So this card is the centre overriding element of what's going on for you in 2025. And this is showing you that your dreams are coming true. How absolutely wonderful. Great abundance is yours, pal two. Everything you've been working for is going to come to fruition. So you're going to reap what you've sown. It's time for big dreams to come into play. So it's all about tending your garden of life and taking action so that you can experience the extraordinary. This is going to be an absolutely wild and wonderful year for you, pal too. Now the rune that you've got with this card number of 21 is the Thurisaz rune. Sorry, here we go. Let me show you that more closely. Now, this is also known as Thor sometimes, but it's kind of recognised as being like a little thorn on a stick. So like on a rose bush or something, the little thorn, and it's just talking about making sure that you protect what you have worked so hard for and protect the dream that is yours. And part of that will be about stepping away from anybody who wants to try and take it off you, stepping away or protecting yourself from naysayers who want to stamp on your dream, because other people will project their limiting beliefs onto you, pal too, usually with a lot of good intention to keep you safe and to help you, but they're not always correct, because this card is showing you that there's huge, big opportunities for you this year. So let's put that up there. What we're going to do is we're going to look at what's coming in for you at the start of 2025. Then we'll have a little look at what's going on in the middle, and then we'll have a look at the further outcome and see what the positives are for you this year and what the challenges are, and get advice and all sorts of things like that. So, Spirit, please can we have what is... Oh, look. Yeah, well, that ties in well. The world is going to be your oyster, pile 2. You have got everything at your feet. Success, reward, completion is what this card says. It's almost like the same card, to be honest, that what you want is going to come to fruition. So that's at the start of 2025. You may be doing some travel. You may be, if you're starting a new business, perhaps you've got more clients coming in. Perhaps you've been trying to achieve something physically, changing your body in some way, because she's just got her body there. But it's almost like the star card, which shows that you'll have confidence, you'll feel more secure about who you are. Hold on a second. Oh, okay, let's see. Oh, heck. We've got the Seven of Swords. People might not be the best about this in certain ways. People might try and steal your ideas. Take what resonates and leave behind what doesn't. It's not always as dramatic as it might sound. Sometimes friends might actually not be as friendly as you think they are. They might see something that you're doing and really want to get on the bandwagon of that, because they're like, oh yeah, I want to do that too, whereas you're the one who's put all the work in and you've spent a lot of time bringing this, and this is your dream and your idea, and they actually want to get on board but without doing much. But there's potential for theft, dishonesty, somebody who's behaving in a way that isn't as lovely. We've got the magpie here, but I love magpies, but they do like to run off with things that are shiny. So just be aware of that, because whenever we have like a glow up scenario or a situation in which we've been successful and we've done really well, it can trigger people because they aren't getting so we've got challenges with competition, debate, 5 of Wands here. So this can be challenging times where, like I was just saying, sometimes what happens is when things go really, really well for us, we expect everybody to go, "Oh, yay, I'm so pleased for you." When actually what happens with a lot of people is they go, "Oh my goodness, I'm not meeting my potential. This is stressing me out. I want what they've got." Because they don't always recognise that they're the ones who manifest the reality that they're living in. It's that each individual is empowered to create the world that they live in by doing the inner work and the external work, by putting effort and energy into creating what they want to in life. And sometimes people actually go, well, either I'm better than you, which is where the competition might come up, or they can kind of what I call piddle on your bonfire. So you might go, "Oh yeah, things are so great. Here's my great idea," and they go, "Oh, that's rubbish," and really just put the light of you out. We've got the protection. This is coming up for a reason. Okay, this is even, yeah, I only just realised that myself as I'm looking at these cards. Things are wonderful for you, pal, too. There's a lot about protection, about people who might be kind of energy vampires, let's say that, or might be wanting what you've got, or might be negative about what you're doing. It's so tricky, isn't it, that when things go so well for you and you really want everybody to get to be supportive, and sometimes they're not, and that's what this is about. So I'm going to get you a bit of advice for this, pal, too, because I've been through this, so I do know how it feels, and it can bring you a little bit of disillusionment and confusion, especially if you're a really nice person and you can't understand why people just don't want the best for you. But not everybody takes responsibility for themselves, and that's where, dishonesty and theft comes in, where they're not being responsible for their own thoughts, their own ways of being in the world, and what they're creating. What's the advice, please, Spirit, for Pal 2? Thank you, universe, for helping me see beyond the limits of fear. Thank you for expanding my perception so that I can see what is of the highest good. Yeah, okay, so part of this is you're just going to have to rise above it, Pal 2. Recognise that other people may be acting out of fear, but you've got something bigger and better that you're manifesting, and keep your mind on that. See beyond the limits of their fear. See beyond the limits of your fear, and continue to go with the success that you've got so far. Right, let me have a look. I want to have a little look at what's coming up in the middle of the year for you. Pal 2. What's coming up in the middle of the year for Pal 2, please? Are we having both of those? Oh, crikey, wowzers. So we've got metamorphosis. Nearly missed the O out of that then. Metamorphosis. So you are coming out of a cocoon to be a beautiful butterfly, Pal 2. I mean, that's very direct and very in keeping with what we've got here. Now, I would like to say that that's not always as a beautiful and easy experience as it sounds. Sometimes it's a bit of a struggle to, break yourself out of that cocoon and emerge into this beautiful butterfly. But that is what's happening. So by the end of the year, you're really coming into your own, showing all your true colours, showing the beauty of who you are, and whatever you're investing your time in, if it is a business or if it's a new career or a new home, you know, whatever it is, new relationship even, I think it might be something that's no, I'm going to go with that anyway. Whatever it is, you're really going to be in an even more positive space by the middle of the year, pile 2. You're going to have gone through the difficult challenges of these elements here to blossom and bloom even more. So you're going to be even more successful. I'm just going to have a little look in the book at what this Dragon's Lair one is, just to fully get. Okay, this oh my goodness, it ties in so beautifully. I'm very grateful how well it ties in. You are always protected and divinely directed. That's what this card says. Pile 2. So as you go through this metamorphosis and step out into the truth and beauty of who you are, and with whatever it is you're putting out into the world, you are protected. It says you have a remarkable internal warning system that lets you know when things are out of alignment. You're about to enter dangerous territory, so tread carefully and be aware of your surroundings. The path you're on now is one that will challenge you to the core. That said, peril is also exciting and exhilarating, like the danger you feel before you enter a new relationship, knowing that you'll be changed forever. And this is about changing forever, going from the caterpillar to the butterfly. A life lived fully isn't lived only in safety. A new experience is calling to you, one that will test your courage. The choice is yours, but there is greater value in risk taking than remaining unchallenged. New territories are waiting to be discovered. Wow! Pile 2, if you do want to work with me, feel free to do so. I am a life coach and I've been through these big shifts and changes and utilised many techniques therapeutically, NLP. There's certain things I can do to change the patterns in your life, but also clearing away anger, sadness, fear, hurt and guilt, and using the spiritual elements. There's so much. Just check out my website and I can support you through this challenging but exciting and exhilarating transformation. Let's have a look at, I'm just going to have a look at what's coming up for you towards the end of the year. All my details are in the description on my website. Don't know if I just said that. I got so excited about what's going on for you. But I just want to offer the fact that I can support you through these challenges and changes if you need it. Right. So what's going on for pile 2? So you're walking through a new doorway. Interestingly, it says partnership and plans and influence. So maybe you're building something where you might be an influencer, or you might be impacting in a positive way on other people at a larger level, at a larger degree. Or you might be going into partnership with someone with what you're doing, or working with somebody else in a certain way that's going to bring positivity. But essentially, this is about walking through a doorway into a whole new world, into a whole new world. Pile 2. Don't know what the Disney Aladdin. Well, yeah, okay. So the Disney Aladdin reference there. Aladdin goes from being from one world to a very, very different world. You know, a world of poverty where he's struggling but still staying very much in his heart space, to a world of total abundance and affluence and all his dreams come true, where he meets the love of his life and has that positive, you know, he's got a whole new world of influence in which he is able to affect. Big dreams coming true this year for you, pal, too. That's all I'm going to say, but it's not all I'm going to say, but I'm going to say a bit more. But that is the key of what's going on here for you. Spirit, what is coming up for pal 2 as towards the end of the year, please? Five of Cups, you might be leaving things behind. And I can understand this. So it can be to do with leaving relationships, friendships. It can be to do with leaving old things behind. Tends to be something you've emotionally invested in. And it can feel upsetting. It depends for different people. It will be different things and different emotional intensities. Um, I think the thing is not to panic, because every rejection is a protection, pile too. So if things are leaving your life, it's important to know that they're leaving for a reason. And I'm really not surprised, given how many shifts and changes you're going through this year. You may be leaving things behind that are bringing you down. So if your vibrational frequency is increasing, or if you like we've just said, if you've gone from being a Aladdin, if you like, in a difficult environment where you haven't got much and things, and then you suddenly go into something that's much more successful, more affluent. You might have changed your job, you might have left people behind who you work with, there might be relationships with people who've got real mentalities of lack, and if they're not willing to work on that, sometimes it's just not healthy for you to stay in that, and you find that you don't relate to people in the same way anymore when you're in a different life. So that's understandable, and it might just be people on the outside of your circle. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be anybody directly close to you, but take what resonates and leave behind what doesn't. And I think the thing is, you'll see as the year goes on, you've got such big changes going on, pile too. It's unlikely that it's blatantly not going to stay the same. Your life isn't going to stay the same as you go through these different elements. And with how people have been with you here, it's not surprising that at a certain point you'll go, right, enough's enough. They're bringing me down, or they're not treating me of value, and that sort of thing. What else is happening? In fact, we'll get you some advice and around all that in a minute. Ten of Pentacles. Interesting. So this can be an inheritance. It can be buying new property. But essentially, it is, again, like I was just saying, where you're building wealth to a level that's either where you're inheriting wealth that's to do with family legacy, or you're building enough wealth that create some sort of legacy for family. You know what I mean? Like if you buy a home and you're able to go, right, I've got something that I can actually leave to somebody now. Very substantial amount of prosperity here. The Ten of Pentacles, absolutely wonderful. So it's just showing how successful you're going to be, and it may well be business wise, because it's about finances and things. Right, I'm just going to put that one over there so I can see where the end of my screen is, because I'm going to put a few advice cards just in here. Spirit, can we have some advice around the Five of Cups initially, please? Hope is the conduit for miracles. Yeah, as things leave your life, don't cling on to the notion that, oh, I'll never have anything like that again. You need to be open to the concept that there's bigger and better out there for you, and that's why it's happening. You need to turn, I wanted to say turn that frown upside down, but that's not probably going to be helpful in that matter. It's more the sense of turn the sense of loss into a sense of excitement about a new beginning, if you can. Now, that doesn't mean you don't need to grieve a little bit for whatever's gone here, but it does mean that you need to stay open-hearted and open-minded about the fact that miracles are happening here. Positive, and sometimes when we're going through it, we don't realise until we've taken a step back and reflect you might want to write down everything that's been going on this year when you get to this point, so that you do get an opportunity to reflect on just how far you've come, because it is going to be very successful. And sometimes when we're riding these waves of as things are going in such a trajectory, you know, it can be hard to acknowledge just how well you have done. We tend to keep going with the tide of things, but yeah, just take some time to appreciate all the shifts and changes that are going on, why they're going on, and and what it's all happening for, because it's happening to take you into a better life, for you to experience more positive things, and to acknowledge that happiness is your birthright. Pile 2, it's okay. You are entitled to be happy. You're entitled to be abundant. This world has got so much in it, and there's no reason that you shouldn't be part of that. I'm going to get you another advice card around the Ten of Pentacles. The moment I embrace my peace within and surrender the outcome is the moment that the universe can truly get to work. Now, this is in alignment with the Ten of Pentacles. So sometimes we try very hard, and when we try too hard, the energy can almost block what's coming into us. So, like, if there's a desperation or anything like that, that needs clearing. That's to do with relationships or financial aspects, and you need to dig deep to see what's driving that so you can heal it. But it's saying if you surrender and have trust and faith in the universe, in your ancestors, in your spirit guides, in, you know, whoever you believe in, the universe can then get to work and bring all of this positive, amazing abundance into your life. So let's put those there. Now I just want to have a look at what are the big positives coming in and what are the challenges. So what is the big positive element for Pal 2 during this year of 2025? What is the big positive element for Pal 2, please? Cultivate. Wow, that's really beautiful. Isn't that a beautiful, stunning card? I will have a little... Hold on, let me see what the... what is the challenge, please? For Pal 2 during this year. Relationship. Okay. And I think that's clear. And it doesn't necessarily... Well, it might be romantic relationships, but it's the connections you've got. When you make big, successful shifts and changes, the connections you've got can really get wobbled. They can really, you know, the edges can be impacted. And if they're not strong, if they're not built on positive, strong foundations of equal respect, equal value, equal love, then they will fall apart, because you can't go through big shifts like this and allow energies to stay in your life that don't fit, because it won't allow you to progress. So this is part of what's going on here, and we can see this at the start of the year, that it's already going to come. You're going to start to see it as 2025 comes in. You'll start to see which relationships are maybe going to be on the wobble a bit, Pal 2, because of your success and how well you're doing. It's if people are going to be jealous, resentful, or competitive with you, that isn't going to serve your highest purpose. It's not going to help you to reach your highest goals. If you're around the energy, you want people who are very responsible for their own ability to manifest what's right for their soul into their life. Now, I'm going to have a look in the little book at what this one says. So, pile 2, Taurus asks you to hold still, dig in, grow roots and strengthen over time. Okay, that's interesting because I've just said about the foundations that you're building. This is the positive aspect of what's going on for you this year. It says work with the metaphor of gardening. Plough the ground, plant the seeds, nurture the crops with water and fertilizer, and protect these crops from predation. Yeah, protection. It's all about growing what you're doing this year, pal 2. Grow roots rather than travel. Investigate. Now that doesn't mean actual don't travel because we've got the world there, but it means set something down, bring it from ideas into the 3D world, bring it into manifestation as being physical, tangible, real. Investigate what concrete form your project should take and the next practical steps in that direction. Appreciate the senses. Notice what you see, smell, hear, feel, and taste. Use the senses to be in the present moment and let time flow by. Cuddle, feed. It says in a relationship, listen to both the signals of your body chemistry and the practicalities of your life to give it a fertile field. Cultivate your garden. It says everything that surrounds you is made up of matter, and the word matter comes from the Latin word mater or mother. Taurus connects you to the sacred earth, Mother Gaia herself, the physical vessel who holds spirit in the body, in the plants, and in the earth beneath us. Yeah, so I think also this is very much about bringing your ideas to earth, nurturing and nourishing them so that they can come to fruition, to a tangible, look at all the things that are tangible around this element. So that is what's happening for you this year. There's more though, hold on, don't rush off yet. I'm going to get one more advice card for you. Is that what I'm going to do? Yes, that is what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to read you a little bit out of the Rumi's little book of life. Right, let's get one more. Bone collector. Look at that, that's funny. So, this is very much about time, worrying about whether you've got enough time to complete all the things that you want to, and feeling like you're in a desert sometimes. So I'm going to put this over here so you can put that there, and I'm just going to have a little look at the detail of this one. You are whole and have everything you need within. Okay, that makes sense. Look closely at your circumstances to see if you're fully present or reacting out of past conditioning and unconscious expectations. Whenever we're wounded, especially when we're young, it's as if something essential is stolen from us. You may feel unworthy or without courage. You may see yourself as flawed or unlovable or expect to be criticised. No matter what your question, the Bone Collector reminds you that the truth is that you are powerful with limitless possibilities. Yeah, this is so specific for you, isn't it, pal 2? With everything that we've just said. Act as if you have what you need and you'll find you have it after all. Anything is possible. With awareness, the wounds of the past need not define you. Yeah, absolutely. Now, just before you go, one thing that's really nice to do is you can choose a book and then you can just pick a page. So we want something for pal 2. And then we'll see what it says to you. So it says, The body is like a pot with the lid on. Lift the lid to see if it is filled with the water of life or the death of poison, or the poison of death. Focus on the contents and you will become a master. Focus on the pot and you will be misguided. Your eyes only see the body while the spiritual eye perceives the soul. So a lot of this is about remember and recognize what you've got inside you, and also use your intuition and your spiritual your gut feelings about what is right and what is actually going to work for you, rather than focusing on the 3D. If somebody's presenting themselves in a really cheery way but you feel something's not right, trust your intuition. Pile 2 is the final message. Have a fantastic 2025. I hope to see you again. Please do like and subscribe if this resonated. You have got a wonderful transformational year coming up for you. I wish you all the best. Thank you for watching. Take care. Goodbye. Hello, Pal 3. Welcome to today's reading, where we are looking at what is going to happen for you in 2025. So, you have picked the Rune of Hagalaz, and you have picked Heal the Ouch. So, you may actually have something medical going on if you're already aware of that. I love the fact that there's a little raccoon with like a doctor or nurse's hat on there, which is absolutely gorgeous, healing the little fox. So the Heal the Ouch card is very much about healing, obviously, but it's about forgiveness as well. So it's a time for great soothing of the heart, the body, the soul and the mind, and healing is going to be very prevalent. So you might be drawn to things that help you heal. So whether you're having operations or an operation, or whether you're just doing things that, for example, are more creative, or seeking therapy, whatever it is, and even if it's none of those things, there's something about this card that's asking you to look at how you change your behaviours in order to have a healthier, positive experience on the earth. So that might even be stuff like going vegetarian, or changing your diet, or changing your fitness regime. It's to do with clearing old wounds, and letting bygones be bygones, letting things go that no longer serve you. Now, the Hagalaz rune, very interestingly, is signifying things that can't be controlled, so that you are out of control of, that you cannot fix. So you may have to ask for the support of others, or you may just have to go with the flow. It can be something where something significant really changes, and it might be a bit difficult to start off with, but actually it thaws out and it's positive, because it's kind of recognition of something like hail. So when hail comes down, it can be short-lived, but it can really hurt or impact us in different ways. But it's basically that you're kind of out of control with what's going on here. So that's very, very interesting. So let's have a look. I'm going to put that there because that's the overriding meaning for the year ahead, pal 3. And I'm going to have a look at what is coming up in the cards. So what is actually happening for pal 3 in 2025, please, Spirit? What is happening for pal 3? The Empress, grace, abundance, harmony, beauty. Wow, so there's a lot of maybe being pregnant with ideas, or birthing something new into the world sometimes, making a big shift and a big change. There may be nurturing, nourishment, healing. It's a lot of the kind of mother aspects as well can be with the Empress. So you might need those elements, you know, whether it's to do with being a mother or whether it's to do with mothers and needing, or just needing the energy that's associated stereotypically with a mother. So being nurtured and nourished and healed. What else is coming up at the start of 2025? Ten of Wands. Okay, kind of overdoing it. Pile 3. So you might be using too much of your energy. You might be working too hard. You might be overloading yourself rather than. It's interesting, we've got that next to that. So there's maybe something where you kind of recognise at the start of the year that you can't, either you can't keep going on the way you've done, um, because there's healing elements coming up, and it might be something that happens that is a bit of a surprise, or you might just have some sort of realization. Maybe something's happened from a health perspective that's made you go, I can't keep doing this. Either it's not working well for my mental health, it's not working well for my physical health, you know, whatever it is. It's time to stop being so harsh on yourself, or allowing, either if it's work wise, you've maybe been working too hard, you may be trying to squash too much into life, and you're going to have to take the time to be nicer and more gentler to yourself, or allow yourself to be taken care of in some way at the start of this year. Pile 3. What else is going on? Wheel of Fortune, interesting. So this says karma, destiny, but it's very much about how things shift and change for us. So I feel like you might have been going a full steam ahead for quite a while, maybe in almost like the harvest. So this can be about the seasons, you know, that in life we have different seasons that we associate with. So you've maybe been in the place where you've been harvesting and harvesting and working and working and ploughing the fields. You know, it's that sort of metaphorical notion, or it might actually be real for you if that resonates. But and you may be coming to a point now where you need to stop. You need to be in a place where you actually rest. You know, more of the autumnal, wintry put kind of elements where you're cuddling up, you're being cozy, you're nurturing, putting good things into your body and stuff like that. So let me get a bit of, I'm just going to get a bit of advice for you around this. So this is what's coming up at the start of 2025. Bit of a wake-up call is what I want to say. In every moment, the universe is conspiring to bring me towards right-minded thinking and the energy of love. So whatever's going on for you at the start of this year, it's been done for you, not to you, pal 3. It's happening for you so that you honour your needs more, so that you honour that you are of value, so that you honour that you need to be loved, whether that's loving yourself more and not doing so much, and taking better care of yourself, or allowing other people to work with you to take better care of yourself. Let's have a look at what's coming up in the middle of the year. Spirit, what's coming up in the middle of 2025 for pile 3, please? Oh, it's going to strengthen your bonds with other people. You're either going to meet someone, or you're going to find that through having gone through this, which is tricky, at the start of 2025, that you'll actually, it's going to strengthen the bonds with other people. It's going to allow you, during the middle of the year, you're going to feel more able to do stuff. But we've got stuck in the mud with that, which is interesting. So you might be struggling to let go of things that have happened before, to let go of things that you feel haven't gone quite right, Interestingly, this also came up for another pile. It's asking you to actually stop and enjoy the connections that you've got in the middle of the year. Be grateful, experience the positive people that you've got in your life. See things from a higher perspective. Rise above any troubles and know that it's okay for you to start to slow down a bit in certain ways. I love this card because it recognises that sometimes being stuck is the only way that you can stand still and see the perspective of reality. That it allows you to look around you and shift your focus. So rather than being in this feeling at the start of the year, feels like there might be anxiety involved. Sorry, I didn't say that very well. Perhaps anger and anxiety, or just one of each, or feeling a bit like overwhelmed or uncomfortable, and you needing love and nurturing, and things are shifting and changing for you. By the time you get to the middle of the year, you're going to have you have slowed down, and you're able to get better perspective and clarity, and to have some joy about what's going on, in your life, until you can start moving more again. So there's going to be a little bit of a time out almost there. Maybe even a holiday is what I want to say for some of you, which would make sense. But I'm just going to put that there to you, pal 3. Let me get, where's my cards? Oh, they're here. I put them in the wrong place. And I couldn't find them then. Spirit, what's coming up for pal 3 towards the end of 2000 and, hold on, I've got 3 that have dropped out there. Interesting. So we've got, towards the end of the year, we've got the Devil, which is all to do with, certain fears. So if you have had this little point of peace here where you've been able to see, to get some clarity, to spend time with other people, and then you have to start shifting and moving again, and things start to happen where you're getting back into life a bit more. That might bring up a little bit of, almost, I want to say, like coming out of lockdown. Not that you're going into lockdown necessarily, pal 3, but it's like where you've had that period of time where you've slowed down a bit, and maybe you're shifting something to do with work, maybe even taking some time out from work, and then you start to go again, or time out from life in a certain way, and then later in the year you start to go again. It's going to bring up a few anxieties that you might, because of what's been here, this overworking, this, that things might go wrong, that things might be too much. We've then got the Knight of Swords, which is highs and lows, different kind of conflicts and things. But we've got the 9 of Cups, optimism, joy, happiness. The 9 of Cups is the wish card. I'm going to put that there. So, the wish card is absolutely lovely because it shows that we've got hope and optimism, but also that we've got positive things coming into our lives. So it is good towards the end of the year. There just might be a bit of tension as you kind of start, or truths or conflicts might come to the surface, probably because you've got a few fears and anxieties here, and because there's a bit of uncertainty. I'm going to get you some advice cards. Let's have some advice cards about this little bit here, it's like a bit of nervousness or a bit of anxiety about going back into life somehow, or about the way you're engaging with life at the end of the year, whereas actually all things are good. But let's have a look. When I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. Yeah, so I think the thing is, I almost either want to say like be of service or recognise what a good person you are and how much you've been through, and that I think it's confidence. There might be a bit of lack of confidence. So you might be a little bit gung-ho in some ways towards the end of the year, bit sharp or a bit harsh, in a way that you don't need to be, because good things are coming through. So just remember to keep recognising the positives of who you are. Let me get a bit more information advice-wise about the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups cards are very emotional, you know, in a positive way. Quite well, this is positive. So sometimes the Nine of Cups can be that you've got everything that you want emotionally, but one thing's missing. And I feel what might be missing is your confidence, which you just need to build on a little bit. Pile 3. Let's have a look. When I lean on certainty and faith, I change my mind about the world I see. Yeah, just it's about, there's a lovely thing that I learnt on a video I went on. I can't remember who it was with now, but one of these free things that people do that's quite nice quite often. And this lady said, I know who I am. And you can repeat that to yourself. You can just say, I know who I am. And saying that to yourself, whether you know who you are or not, really seems to empower yourself, and your psyche sort of trusts it and feels more confident and robust somehow. Now I'm going to get cards about what is good about this year and what is challenging. So, Spirit, for pile 3, please can we have what is good about this year? What is good about this year? Authority. Oh, look at that. Climbing mountains. Wow, what a beautiful card. So you really are going to find something deep within you. You're going to achieve a great deal. You're going to get over certain things that have been difficult. And it's gonna, that's really positive. Let me just see, what are the challenges for this year for pile 3, please, Spirit. Resources, that's interesting. So you might be worrying a little bit about financial abundance, and that might be to do with because you've been overworking. Perhaps you do actually either leave your job, or you've maybe left your job, or you taking some time out, like I said, and you might be worried about it running out a little bit. But the way I see it is that it's all going to work out absolutely fine, and it's going to, you know, if you work with the universe, take the time to heal where you need it, and don't be worrying about rushing too much. Pal 3 is what I want to say. I'm just going to have a little read of what the 10th house one is, just so we get the full details. It says you're being asked to step up and take on the next level of personal authority. It's hard to build something without a clear blueprint. So look at your definition of a strong leader and decide whether you need to amend it. Remember how you felt as a kid about your parents, the school principal, priests, police, the teachers, and observe whether they use their responsibility wisely and encourage you to develop yours, or whether you needed to rebel to be safe. Notice your relationship to the concept of divine authority and investigate if it was something to be feared, ignored, or expanded. Did it offer you refuge and safety? These patterns affect both how you react to outside authority and what you expect from yourself as a parent, professional or leader. Sort between the traits that worked and those not worth emulating. Interesting. Wherever you are in your evolution, it's time to take the next step up the mountain of leadership, empowerment, and accomplishment. So I think this might be work wise or to do with your personal healing, to do with how you're engaging in the world, to do with what matters to you, and to do with how you want to live in your world, Pal 3, which is quite auspicious. It's all to do with your self-value, I feel, is the key element for this year for you, Pal 3. A lot to do with self-value, and you can work with me on that. I help to clear, we can work together to clear patterns of lack or lack of self-love and all those sorts of things. Just go to my website, www.foxglovecoaching.com. Right, I'm going to get you another advice card. Spirit, can we have one more advice card for Pal 3, and then I'll get you a little reading out of the Rumi book to conclude. Golden Palace. Wow, so this is a very spiritual card. Very much about finding your special sacred place within you, so that you can always feel your best and positive self, is what I want to say, Pal 3, so that you can feel enabled and empowered to make the right decisions for you. But also it's about knowing your worth, as what I've said before, knowing your value, knowing that you are the Golden Palace. You know what I mean? So, and also that there's always enough. So there's really something coming up to do with wealth, good fortune. So if you do find that you are looking for a new career, a new job, or that you feel like you're working so much to try and get what you need out of life, it's very important to recognise that there is such a lot of wealth and prosperity in the world, and it is available to you. You just need to work with spirit quite often. But like I said, I can work with you as well to clear any limitations or mentalities of lack. I'm just having a quick look in the book. So it says this can offer emotional fulfillment, or a time of happiness that's long overdue. The message here is that self-worth isn't measured by what you have, no matter how abundant your life is. Instead, it comes from what you are, how authentically you're living your life, and how much love you're willing to share. Granted, receiving this card does indicate material gain and a furthering of tangible rewards, but things come and go, and knowing your true value leads to even greater riches now. Share the wealth. That is the advice with this. Now I'm going to get you one last thing out of here. So what you can do is you can pick a book, Pal 3, and if you need a message for the day, you can just pick one, pick a page, and it'll tell you. Now this is Rumi's little book of life, the garden of the soul, the heart, and the spirit. So for Pal 3, please. This is a bit long. The others have been really short. Let me just see what pops out for this one. I want to say the eyes of a child are fixed on the wants of now, while the eyes of the wise see to the end. When you close your mouth, another one will open, seeking nourishment in the mysteries of spirit. The sugar of sensual joy is the fruit of the garden of sorrow. This joy is the wound, the sorrow is the plaster. Learn to embrace sorrow, look straight at its face, and joy will reappear. All action sways between contraction and expansion, both as important and as opening and closing of the wings of a bird in flight. Okay, so there's very much a story kind of about ebbing and flowing, about recognizing that things aren't always just good and bad. Things happen so that we can experience the highs and lows of life, and it says about highs and lows here, and that brings meaning and worth to our life. It's only by experiencing tricky things or difficult things or sad things, that we're able to really know what it's like to have the happiness and the joy. And somebody said, I saw something the other day that said, grief is the gift that shows us that we have loved. So sometimes when you experience sadness or something, it shows you what matters, and it shows you how positive things are. So just, you've got a very interesting year coming up, pal 3. A lot to do with self-worth, self-value, and allowing yourself to enjoy positive connections and to take time out and to learn how to really value yourself, with the outcome of very positive abundance, basically. So, thank you so much for watching. If this resonated, please do like and subscribe. I'd love to see you again, and I wish you a very happy festive season. Bye bye, pals.